Your home is 60 feet long and 14 feet wide. It floats. You live with your parents, your brother, and 2 tons of wheat. You've never lived on land. You don't remember what it feels like to stay in one place. This is life on an Erie Canal boat, 1855, and the water is the only home you've ever known. Your name is Sarah. You're 16 years old. You were born on this boat. They made a Catherine named after your mother and grandmother. Your father built it 20 years ago, back when the Erie Canal was still new and fortunes could be made hauling cargo between Buffalo and Albany. Now it's just work. Endless, repetitive work. You wake in the tiny sleeping cabin, barely room for 2 narrow bunks. Your brother Thomas sleeps in the cargo hold when the weather's good, or curled up in the corner when it's not. Outside, the sun is just rising over Buffalo Harbor. Dozens of canal boats crowd the docks, all loading cargo, all preparing for the journey east. Your father is already on deck, checking the rigging, inspecting the towline. The old Ben, 15 years old, and stubborn as stone, stands on the towpath, waiting. Your mother is in the kitchen, a tiny space at the stern, with a small stove, 3 pots, and shelves holding everything the family owns. She's making breakfast, porridge, and coffee. Sarah, she calls, help me with the water. You climb onto the dock and fill 2 buckets from the pump. Carry them back your arms at you. They always ache. This is your life. Water, buckets, rope, locks, cargo, over and over, week after week, year after year. By noon, the boat is loaded, 2 tons of wheat bound for Albany, where it'll be transferred to larger ships heading down the Hudson to New York City. Your father pays the dock fee. Your mother haggles with a merchant over the price of salt pork and flour supplies for the week ahead. Thomas leads old Ben to the front of the boat, hooks the tow line, and you're off. The Erie Canal is 363 miles long, 40 feet wide, 4 feet deep. It runs from Buffalo on Lake Erie to Albany on the Hudson River, cutting through the heart of New York State. Before the canal, it took weeks to move goods between the Great Lakes and the Atlantic. Now it takes 6 days. Your father has made this trip hundreds of times. He knows every lock, every toll collector, every dangerous turn. You know it too. You've been making this journey since you were a baby. The boat moves at 4 miles per hour, the speed of a walking mule. Ben plods along the towpath, pulling the boat behind him. Your father steers with the long tiller. Your mother works in the kitchen. Thomas sits on the roof of the cabin, watching the world go by. You stand at the bow, feeling the boat glide through the water. It's peaceful, in a way. Quiet, but it's also suffocating. You've never lived anywhere but this boat. You've been to Buffalo and Albany dozens of times, but you've never stayed. Just load, unload, turn around, start again. You've never had a friend who wasn't on another canal boat. You've never gone to school. You've never slept in a room that didn't sway with the current. And sometimes more and more lately you wonder what it would be like to live on land, to wake up in the same place every day, to have a house with rooms to stay. But this is the family business. This is what Hartleys do. The first lock comes at mid. Locks are the key to the canal. The land rises and falls between Buffalo and Albany over 500 feet of elevation change. The locks raise and lower boats like water stairs, allowing them to climb hills and descend valleys. There are 83 locks along the Erie Canal. You'll pass through 36 of them this week. The lockkeeper waves you forward. Your father steers the boat into the narrow stone chamber. You and Thomas jump off with ropes, securing the boat to the walls. The lockkeeper closes the lower gates, opens a valve, water rushes in. The boat rises. Slowly, 10 feet, 12 feet, 15. When the water level matches the upper canal, the lockkeeper opens the upper gates. You untie the ropes. Thomas leads Ben forward. The boat glides out of the lock and continues east. This takes 20 minutes. You'll do it 35 more times before Albany. Your father pays the lockkeeper a toll 2 cents per mile, per ton of cargo. It adds up quickly. By the time you reach Albany, half the profit from this trip will be gone. But there's no other way. The canal is the only route, and everyone on the canal is paying the same tolls. By Wednesday afternoon, you're deep into the countryside. Farms spread out on both sides of the canal. Small towns appear every 10 miles, or so clusters of houses. A general store, maybe a church. Children run along the towpath, waving at passing boats. Your mother waves back. Other canal boats pass you going the opposite direction west toward Buffalo. Your father knows most of the captains. They shout greetings as they pass. How's business, Hartley? Slow. Your father shouts back. Railroad's taking all the freight. It's true. The railroads are spreading across New York. Faster than canal boats, more direct routes, lower costs. Your father doesn't talk about it much, but you can see the worry in his face. The canal made him. It made this whole family, but it won't last forever. That night, you moor at a small village. Your mother goes ashore to buy bread and vegetables. You help her carry the supplies back. As you walk through the village, you see something that makes you stop. A house. A real house. 2 stories, with curtains in the windows and a garden out front. A girl about your age sits on the porch, reading. She looks up, sees you staring. You want to say something? Ask her what it's like to live in one place, to have a room that doesn't move. But your mother is already walking back to the boat. Come on, Sarah. You follow her. The girl goes back to her book, and you wonder if she ever thinks about what it would be like to live on the water. Thursday afternoon, disaster almost strikes. Another boat coming fast from behind tries to pass you in a narrow section of the canal. Your father shouts a warning. Too narrow. Wait for the wider stretch. The other captain ignores him. Pushes forward. The boats collide. Not hard, but hard enough. Your boat scrapes against the stone wall of the canal. Wood splinters. The cargo shifts. No one is hurt, but the damage will cost money to repair. Money your family doesn't have to spare. Your father curses under his breath. The other boat speeds ahead without apologizing. This is life on the canal. Everyone's in a hurry. Everyone's trying to make a living. And sometimes, people get desperate. Your father inspects the damage. A section of the hull will need to be patched when you reach Albany. Another expense. Another cut into the profits. By Friday evening, you can see Albany in the distance. Your father moors the boat at the commercial docks. Tomorrow, you'll unload the wheat. Pay the dock fees. Collect your payment from the merchant. And then you'll load new cargo manufactured goods heading west to Buffalo and start the journey all over again. This is the rhythm of your life. East, west. East, west. The same 363 miles. The same locks. The same towns. Forever. That night, you sit on the deck with your brother Thomas. You ever think about leaving? You ask him. He looks at you, surprised. Leaving? Where would we go? I don't know. Land. A town. Somewhere that doesn't move. He thinks about it. I like the water, he finally says. I'd miss it. You don't say anything. Because you wouldn't miss it. Not even a little. But you also know you'll never leave. This is the family business. This is what you do. This was life on the Erie Canal in 1855. Thousands of families lived on canal boats, traveling the same routes endlessly, carrying the goods that built America. They had no permanent home. No roots. Just 60 feet of wood and water. The Erie Canal transformed New York into the economic center of the nation. It made fortunes for merchants and cities, but for the families who worked it, it was just work. Hard, repetitive, isolating work. Within 20 years, the railroads would make the canal obsolete. The families would scatter. Some would find work on land. Others would disappear into history. Sarah, you'd eventually marry a lawkeeper's son and settle in a small town along the canal. You'd live in a house, a real house, with rooms that didn't move, and for the rest of your life, you'd dream about the water. Old America Diaries, real life, real history, one state at a time.